Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and I'm privileged to be with Sam Webb. Hi Sam, how are you going today?
I'm very well, Lauren. I'm very well. I'm very excited to be on the show today. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Welcome to Rave It Up. It is your first time on the show. I can't believe that because, you know, we've been chatting back and forth. And for our listeners, you may remember back, was it last year? It was probably about a year ago actually, Kevin Hines on the show, talking about Suicide: The Ripple Effect documentary. Then we had Lauren Breen on, and then Greg D, and then found out they're all our mutual friends. And I was like, I could get Sam on the show now. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. And they're good guys.
Yeah, I really wanted to know what was your experience working on that project? Because we've heard from all the other three. Now we want to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, the experience was it was extremely unique. Kevin, as you guys and the audience have obviously met Kevin before, and he's a very unique person. I mean, everyone's unique to their own degree, but it was really, really refreshing working with them on the show, or on the film, so to speak, and learn a lot. And my personal mantra of life is I'm a student of life, and just learning from them, listening to their insight, hearing certain stories, which everyone's got a story that some people just don't like or don't feel comfortable to share, but to hear a story like Kevin's at its absolute rawest form was, very fascinating, but also extremely moving.
What was your favourite part about working on the project?
I think just meeting so many different people along the way. Yeah, and everyone had their own stories, and everyone had felt like they were part of a team. Everyone was a part of a little team or a family or a community, and everyone
it seemed like a family.
Yeah, very comfortable too, and learn a lot.
And you're still keeping contact with all of them as well?
Yes. A lot of contact.
Can't wait for Kevin to come back to Australia, because we actually haven't met in person yet. We did a Skype interview, but because when they had the premiere here in Sydney, he unfortunately couldn't come, but got to meet Lauren and Greg, and it was so moving.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't meet you that night, because I'm sure maybe I was there. I wasn't there. I was there. I'm pretty sure I was there.
I couldn't come to the premiere, but I interviewed her like in the morning.
Yeah, cool.
Just the morning of, pretty much, and even Greg, he just pretty much came straight off the plane to the hotel and then did an interview, and I was like, I'm so sorry. He must be so jet lagged.
Greg's amazing. He's very talented on and off the camera, and he's got a very clear vision about how you can put stories on film to make a real difference. And I think a big, massive congratulations to the team for pulling something like that off. You do need a real good team to do it, and there's no single person that can make anything successful. It's about who you got in your corner, and they got a good crew.
Well, even he has an interesting story too that I was hearing about, because I was like, everybody's kind of has some sort of experience in terms of suicide or depression, and I'm like, where does he come into this? Or is he just hired as the director and then, just fits into it? But he actually had his own story. I don't know if you've heard of it, but if you haven't, guys, check out the interview. Now, I also want to know, because you're loving this shirt, by the way. You're the
give it a bit of a
plug. I love it. It's very colourful too.
Yeah, very nice. It's a new one. We've just dropped our new collection.
Everybody, go check it out. Buy your own. So you are the co-founder and co-CEO of a mental health, obviously Livin. It's a mental health and suicide awareness charity. And that's how you got involved with Suicide: The Ripple Effect. Am I correct? Yeah. So, and you started that because of death of a friend. Yep. So I really want to know as well, have you had any issues with mental health or, suicidal thoughts or anything yourself?
And just to recap, Livin started after the death of a good friend, a suicide, the night of September 15, 2013. It was a night that changed many people's lives, and we had to make a difference. And I guess for me, mental health and suicide has been something very close to myself and my family for a number of years prior to Dwayne's passing. And I like to describe that night when Dwayne took his own life as the final turning point in my own life to try and make a difference. And absolutely, I've had my own demons and my own struggles with mental health challenges, and I think it relates to so many different people on so many different levels. I feel like I'm very lucky to have experienced, but also obviously extremely sad to have experienced it on both ends of the spectrum, having had my own challenges myself, but also losing a number of very close people to me personally that have taken their own life, unfortunately. And again, I'm a student of life. I'm always learning, but it's something that you just learn to manage and learn to deal with.
Yeah. So it kind of must have switched something on in your brain and went, wow, life is so precious and you can end it at any moment, but, is it worth it?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think for me, a big part of me being alive today is I got to thank Dwayne. I mean, I was in a very dark place myself the night that Dwayne took his life.
Wow.
And it really was. I was down the rabbit hole, and it was a switch. It, I guess, changed inside of me that I'm really lucky to be here. I'm very grateful about life itself, and no one or nothing owes anything towards me. I'm just here doing the best I can, and again, I'm part of a great team. We're doing great things, and it's certainly not just me. It's a great team, great support, great community, and everyone's making a difference.
Well, it's an eye-opener that we all go through, we all have our own demons and go through our own struggles.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm very lucky to have been. I look back now and I wouldn't want my life any other way. It really has made me the person I am today, and a lot of people, and everyone's very different how they deal with struggles, how they deal with demons and whatnot, but I feel very lucky to have experienced that because it's helped shape a lot of the decisions I've made in my life, and it's put me on this path of where I'm heading, and I'm lucky to be on this path I'm on. It's an amazing one.
Well, it's helped you, and then you're being such an amazing role model for everyone else as well. Yeah. I really want to know as well, how do you juggle it with your acting career? Because this is obviously a full-time thing.
It's a tough one. It's a very good question.
You must be very good at time management.
I'm still trying to master it. I don't think you can ever be perfect at it, but I'm working on it every single day. And Livin now has been around for almost 6 years this year. And again, great team. I'm not the best at everything. Neither is anyone.
Well, no one's perfect.
No one's perfect, and you got to stick to your strengths. And I'll do what I'm good at with inside Livin, and we'll divvy out other projects to people who are better suited in those areas. So I guess I stick to my skill sets, which helps me free up a bit of time. Acting is a major passion of mine. One I'm actually kind of excited more so today because I've got a lot of time that I'm devoting to my acting and my craft, and there's a lot of exciting opportunities in the horizon that I'm looking forward to. And
it's good, so we want to see you more.
Yeah, I'm working really hard, and there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that no one knows about, but it's exciting. I love the journey and I love the work that goes into it.
Wow. And was it hard to come up with the name Livin?
No, the name.
Whose idea was that?
It was a team effort. Dwayne used to always say we're living, man, and we're living, man, we're living. So it was something that sort of just stuck, and we realised that for a lot of people, stigma kept people quiet in the mental health space. So we wanted to bring up something that's kind of fresh, kind of positive. And
so it's a no-brainer if you kept saying it.
It was a no-brainer. It really was. And the arrow.
Yeah, there's an arrow. I've only just noticed that.
That's the arrow, but it's on our traditional classic logos. It's on this eye, and the meaning behind that was Dwayne and I always used to say we're going to the top.
Aww.
And this was just this imaginary place in life where it was just you're living your best life. Is pretty much what we're always alluding, always the way up.
Yeah.
So that's where the arrow comes in, and everything around Livin's positive mental health, early prevention, and mental health awareness, and just empowering everyone to live their best life. That's what it's about.
And being able to be open to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important.
Well, this is really exciting too. A couple of years ago, Chris Hemsworth endorsed Livin by wearing a Livin hoodie on the set of Thor Ragnarok. What was your reaction to that? Because that would have been like dream come true, like top of the top.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was mind-boggling, and I'm as an avid, actor myself, and someone who looks up to certain people as aspiring an actor myself. I mean, it was amazing seeing Chris, endorse the charity on a number of different levels, on a number of different times, and we're always thankful for that. And for anyone, and it's not just Chris, but I mean for anyone wearing our stuff, it's always very special. But for Chris, I mean, it was mind-boggling at the time, and it really leveraged the brand in more ways than one.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It pushed the brand in a lot of different directions, and a lot of people that probably weren't really aware about Livin were aware about Livin. So for that, we were very grateful. So thanks, Chris.
If he's watching this, hopefully he is. Because I did read you gave the hoodie to a friend to give to Chris. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
So a good friend of ours works on set on some of the major feature films that get shot, and he works in the gripping sort of department, and He's a Dolly Group now. He's got a promo, so he's doing very good at his job, and wore the stuff to work one day. Ended up strategically having all of his staff wearing it.
Yeah.
And then Chris is sort of like, what's Livin all about? So, I mean, that's sort of where it all started. And then Chris was fully behind it and supported it. I mean, he supports other charities too, but we're just very lucky. And I mean, it's really powerful that someone and anyone in that realm, that people, they have a massive following. It's amazing how much of a difference it actually can make.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
but again, this is for anyone wearing the Livin merch. We're very lucky, and thank you if you guys are watching this. Thank you. Yeah,
wear it to the shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. Hopefully you meet him in the future and get to chat to him about it.
Yeah, we met and we thanked him, and it was good. So,
good.
Very lucky.
Wow, awesome. Now, you are also a public speaker, which is incredible, but do you ever get nervous in front of those crowds? Like, some of the photos I've seen, they're huge crowds, and I'm like, okay, there's one thing being an actor and doing it in front of the camera, but when you've got crowds like that, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, acting, acting, I mean, if you don't feel the nerves, you're not in the right area. I think nerves are all part of life, and it's I love that feeling of butterflies and nervousness, and oh my god, am I going to fail? Is it going to work?
Yeah.
Geez, I'm nervous. What happens if they say something? The unknown is something that very much drives me, motivates me, inspires me in particular, and speaking. I mean, I love it. It brings a sense of therapeutic calmness to my life, and so does acting. Hence why I'm extremely passionate towards it. It's a really good balance in between the work that I do outside of acting with Livin and everything else. And I love speaking. It definitely really is an art, and it's not for everybody. But everyone's got the power to be a speaker. You just gotta work on it. Be confident within yourself, and know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Prepare.
Well, it's great that you get to spread
Same
the
way
word.
you've prepared.
Yes, I've done a lot of research.
When you prepare, it's pretty easy.
Now, I was going to say for everyone, if you want to be lifted up and inspired, go follow Sam on Instagram. Like, I love the posts you put up. It's incredible. And even on the Livin website, you've put up, every new day is another chance to change your life. Best quote I think I've heard. So I've got to write that down and add to my quotes that I look up every day.
Yeah, it's all about I guess just a social impact, and I feel like I'm lucky to be in the position I'm in, and I'm just doing my part.
No, we need more
everyone can do their part.
Yeah,
I
was going to say we need more people like you in the world, but that is true. Everybody can.
There is
can
people
do
out
it.
there. Trust me, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of great people out in the world, and I'm just one of them.
One of them, yeah. We obviously got a lot in your team as well. Now, Sam, as you know, I wanted you back on the show probably around like last year when Suicide: The Ripple Effect documentary came out, but it kind of passed my mind, and life gets in the way, and I kind of forgot. But then until recently, when you came back on Neighbours, and I was like, oh yeah, because I only really got into it probably like halfway through last year, and I became a huge fan, and I was just like, oh my god, it's Sam! Like, oh my god, and then you popped it back in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna ask Lauren, see if I can get his contact. You are amazing as Mannix, by the way. It gives me chills. Nothing like how you are in real life, I've just noticed today. Now, are you friends with everybody on that show? Are you keep in contact?
Neighbours was again lucky to have my opportunity to be on there, and extremely grateful. I mean,
and as a character that keeps coming in too.
Look, the character was someone who I'm not in real life, but I mean, with acting, you're drawing on experiences in your life that makes you connect to a character, so to speak, to become that as best as you can and portray it. And going on set, I mean, everyone from the reception through to people behind the kitchen, through to first AD, second AD, assistant directors, everyone from cast, crew to every single person I interacted with at Neighbours in Melbourne were amazing, and I'm very, very lucky to be a part of that history, because that shows it's a special show to be a part of.
It's been running for ages.
35 plus years, and I mean, I'm very lucky to be a part of it. Even it was only some small parts, but I'm very lucky to be there, and I'll just keep working hard to try and get either back on there or wherever else the life takes me. Yeah,
because Mannix is quite like a bad character, I guess. It depends how you want to view him, but that must be a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
All the actors I talk to, it's like, I don't want to play a good guy.
No, you don't want to play a good guy.
No,
bad
that's boring.
guys are good. Bad guys are good, and they've been well. I mean, Mannix has a good heart. His character, he doesn't think he's doing anything wrong. It's all he's been. It's all he's really known. It's all he's known. It's all he's been brought up with, and I think deep down he just wants to find some love.
Do you have a favourite character, or except for yourself, or actor on the show?
No, I mean, everyone brings their own uniqueness to it, and that's what I love. But everyone's just so easy to get along with.
Yeah.
And everyone's so
lovely.
humble and great, and I learn a lot, like learning a lot from acting school to classes, then onto an actual professional working set. It's a massive difference, but learn a lot, and definitely an area I'm going to pursue, and I'm going to get there. As a professional full-time working actor, that's my goal.
Woohoo!
And I will be there, don't worry, it's just a matter of time.
We're just going to have to keep a lookout.
Yeah.
You have also appeared on Home and Away as well, and I know a lot of people see that there's a lot of similarities between Home and Away and Neighbours, but what differences have you found?
I find Home and Away is probably a little bit more, and again, I was only on there for one ep, and again, stoked to be
How many
there.
hours would have that been like on set for you?
I was there for 3 days.
3 days,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, very
Bit of
professional.
an eye-opener,
Yeah.
one episode, 3 days.
Yeah. Neighbours, I find, because I was there obviously a lot longer, like a family-orientated environment. So was Home and Away, definitely. Everyone was in their own little cliquey thing. So if to come in as a guestie, you're sort of like,
It's like, oh,
yeah,
better tread lightly.
yeah, absolutely. But I feel like they welcomed me with open arms as well. And great crew from the people, the chaperones who to pick you up in the car to drive you to set and everything else. They're all amazing.
And
And
chaperones too. That's
yeah,
so
so I mean, and from everyone, from assistants, everyone, just very grateful. But I mean, I think the genre of the show is very different. From Neighbours through, they're both obviously soaps, definitely, but I find Home and Away is a little bit more real, and you can be a little bit more. I think there's a bit more darker side to Home and Away.
Yeah,
it's a
I
bit
can
more
see that.
realer.
They're both drama-filled, but yeah.
they're very much drama filled. But I find the genre it's a bit more fast paced. Probably, look, to be honest, the way I look at it, I mean, it's probably more suited to me. But I mean, as an actor, you've got to really adapt to whatever you've been given.
So for the
And that's
guys at
what's the
Home and
best.
Away, getting back on.
Yeah, and hopefully that opportunity comes. But I mean, I'm just doing the best I can.
Yeah. That's good. I love it. You did mention acting school before. You went
Yeah.
to Screenwise.
Yes.
That was, the start of your studying. But before that, when you were younger, was acting what you always wanted to do? Or
It was definitely in the back of my mind. I'd been pushed into acting from my mother and
Really?
at a pretty young age.
Wow.
Yeah, I was doing some extra work and working on sets and just local TV budgets and whatnot on the Gold Coast when I was growing up, and it was sort of in between sports. So I was pushed heavily into sports, and that's where I thought I should have been, but turns out I probably shouldn't have been there. And and I really was. I did a theatre show on the Gold Coast heading into 2013. And then it was my first ever professional gig, and I was like, I love this. Like, I should be really pursuing it. And this is when my whole life changed after Dwayne's death, and I started doing things that I wanted to do, not doing things for other people all the time. So I pursued it, and I applied for a number of different acting schools, and applied for Screenwise. Denise is an amazing friend of mine now, and she's a working professional actor, but also runs Screenwise, and went through Screenwise, moved down to Sydney, and never looking back.
Wow.
It's the best decision of my life.
It's good that your mum's trying to push you too,
Yeah.
just to give you that motivation and
Yes.
go, you should go for this, you're really good at it.
Yeah, and my mum's, her side of the family are all actors and actresses, so
Is that why she's pushing it?
yeah, probably, yeah. So I'm stoked I'm in this field. Like I love it. Like I really love it. I want to make a career out of it. It's very hard. It's extremely hard, but I'm patient. I work hard, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
It shows.
Hopefully those stars keep aligning.
Yeah, well, it's working for you so far.
Yeah.
Something that's a little bit different for you. In 2016, you were a contestant on Australian Survivor, and that must have really grown you so much as a person. What do you think are the biggest lessons you learned while on that show?
Biggest lesson I learned on being a Survivor is gratitude. I was so many hours I was in my own head, and you don't have much of a choice other than to start, I guess, breaking down some of the challenges that you fight on a daily basis inside your own head. As human beings, we talk to ourselves more than we talk to anyone else. So
Yeah.
I was able to process a lot of things from the past. I was able to deal with the bare minimum. Like, so I was living as a minimalist for 50 odd days or whatever I last on the show, and I was still so happy. I was so content with life. I was still so grateful, and to have a roof over my head on a full-time basis where I live now. I'm not in a tent or anything. I'm not in the street.
What? I would have thought you'd still
Yeah.
be in a tent.
Nah, so I'm extra. And no, we weren't ever in a tent. But I mean, under like a tribe
On a
roof.
tree,
yeah,
yeah.
a tree. But yeah, very grateful true gratitude is something that I definitely learnt from Survivor. Being like so thankful to have hot showers, and it sounds so cliche, but I'm so grateful to have a roof over my head. I can go get food whenever I want. Like I'm lucky.
Yeah.
People in this world aren't that lucky. Like people are living out in the streets. You know, so people don't get to decide when they and how they eat.
Yeah.
Like I get to decide all that. Like I'm really, truthfully grateful for those basic things that I call basic, but to other people they're luxuries.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something I learned wholeheartedly on the show, and one thing I'll never be able to replace. And that was couldn't put a value on that experience. It was the best experience of my life.
Is that a main reason why you wanted to go on the show as well?
Yeah, that, and to push the boundaries outside of my comfort zone, because it's camping or whatever it was, living off bare means was nothing I've ever done in my life before. So for me doing that, it was so far-fetched, it was so far left field. It was something that if I could do it, I'm practicing what I preach with my life.
Yeah.
I'm putting myself outside of my comfort zone. Hopefully I can inspire other people to do the same, whether it be on Survivor or whether it be in their own life, having conversations that they wouldn't normally have, or going down a job route that they wouldn't think that they would be good at, but they tried, you know, things like that.
Yeah. So you hadn't even gone camping before
Nah,
Survivor?
I was
Wow.
very much a princess growing up. I'd try and stay. I mean, I think I maybe camped once, but it was
Glamping.
Glamping, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very much glamping. It wasn't, yeah.
Wasn't the hard, heavy
Nah.
stuff that you have to do at Survivor.
And learned so much about so many people, and just the mannerisms and the nuances that people do and the psychology behind that. Like, learned so much. It was again, invaluable experience, and one I recommend anyone to do if they can.
Got very deep. I like it. Now, even though you've already achieved so much in your career, Sam, what else can we expect from you in the future? You say you put a lot more time and effort into acting, so you got anything coming up, or just
nothing.
going on heaps of auditions?
Yeah, a lot of auditions. I'm working on my American accent at the moment, so I'm heading. My goal is to head over to the States in the not so long future, hopefully next month.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so,
very close.
Yeah, pretty soon. So that, between setting up some Livin projects abroad and pursuing my acting. Acting's only going to help the Livin mission, right?
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer for me. It's something I feel like I'm suited at. So I'm all about trying new things this year, and I'll work real hard, and hopefully everything happens for a reason in life, and hopefully
I
it's really
truly
enough.
believe that.
Yeah, it really does. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep doing me as best as I can. Keep doing the charity as best as we possibly can grow it on the movement basis, and then I'll keep pursuing my acting. And then if all the stars keep lining up, that's where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I can't do anything else.
Well, you're doing well.
I'm doing the
Going
best
to
I can.
America
Right?
is a good goal.
Yeah, it is. But I love
It's
I love
huge
Australia.
change.
I love Australia, and I wouldn't live anywhere else. But if I have to sacrifice some time and commitment, I'll go there to do that.
Yeah, please come back as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
and don't forget us.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't forget anyone.
And do you have any advice for the listeners who might want to follow their dreams of acting
Yeah, I mean, it's very
or
easy.
starting a charity? Either
Yeah,
one.
I mean, it's very easy for me to sit here and say, if you've got a goal, just go and follow it. It obviously takes a lot more than that. You got to. Some people aren't in a position where they can just forget everything and just pursue their goal. They may have a family. They may have an illness that's holding them back. They may have restrictions in life, finances, whatever it is. But I feel that if you're very passionate about something, don't take no for an answer, and find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Because there are ways you can make things work, no matter how hard something may seem, or how big that mountain may be to get across. I think there's always different perspectives, and there's always different ways you can look at attacking that project.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, I'm going to make it work at any cost, emotional, financial, or whatever it is. But yeah, just don't take no for an answer, and believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. So,
Yeah, couldn't believe in that more.
with all that comes confidence and everything else. So work on baby steps. Don't expect an overnight success, because it's certainly not that. Nothing happens overnight for anyone, and you need a good team in your corner. Great advice, but yeah, I think the most important advice is just believe in yourself. If you believe you can do it, you'll be able to do it. You start putting good, positive things out in the world, positive things will happen. If you start telling yourself you're not good enough, I'm worthless, you're going to start believing that, and other people are going to start believing that too. You believe in yourself, other people will believe in you.
And do you have any advice for those people that might be feeling down or going through depression right now?
Yeah,
and
absolutely. I mean,
having the suicidal thoughts that shouldn't be there, guys.
yeah, I mean, suicidal ideation, I don't know that it's not shouldn't be there. I think as human beings, you don't even have to suffer from a mental health challenge to have suicidal ideation. So if you are having suicidal thoughts, don't feel like you're you're outcast or why are you having these feelings, because they are quite normal, believe it or not. But what I say, if you're struggling or if you're in a place of you're spiraling out of control, what I do say is hang on, because in a month from now, 2 months from now, whether it's a year from now, you'll be in a much better space mentally, physically, and you'll look back and you'll be like, I'm so glad I didn't act on any of those impulses, or I'm so glad I didn't say something or do something that I would have regretted today.
Yeah.
Because too many times I hear, I wish I could have done that, or I should have done this, I should have done that differently, or I should have spoke up earlier. Speaking up's easy. It sounds easy, but it's not easy. So I get it. So if you're on the other end of this interview right now and you're thinking, oh, I want to speak up but I don't know how, that's okay if you can't articulate it. Okay, but again, have the confidence in yourself. Baby steps. Okay, because if you can share how you feel, you're giving other people a chance to help you.
Yeah.
But there are always someone out there, whether it's an old friend, a new friend, someone on the other end of the telephone, they can help you live, and you've got the power to live, and you've got the power to change someone else's life if you're on the other end of that as well.
Jeez, that gives me chills. That was the best advice we've ever gotten for that, so thank you. And as I said, guys, follow him on social media, because he just always, especially Instagram, just keeps adding amazing quotes and photos that just are so uplifting. So
thank you. And
thank
a lot of inspiration comes from people that follow me. I mean, I got a question come through my Insta channels just recently. Like, they asked me a question and it was like, how come you motivate people? What inspires you? And the honest truth is, setbacks, darkness inspires me, and so do people. People's stories inspire me. So don't ever be ashamed to feel the way you feel, because that's
Emotions
unique.
is good.
Yeah, and that's unique, you know. And how good is it to know that no one else will ever be you in this world? So own that and run with it and do the very best you can to make a difference, because you've got the power to do that.
That's so deep. Come on the show anytime, just to inspire us. This is so good. Now, we do have a question that all your female fans would like to know the answer to, Sam. Are you single? And if you are, what do you look for in a partner?
Okay, it's a very personal question, one that I'm happy to share.
All the females want to know.
No, that's cool. I wouldn't say, I'm probably officially single, but I'm seeing someone who I quite like at the moment. Whether when this comes out, I don't even know. Might be different. So let's
still up in the air.
Yeah, no. I'm just having fun right now. But I mean, at the same time, what I look for in someone else is really like an emotional connection is very important, because, and I know it's a cliche. Looks get old and looks fade and all that sort of stuff. That's true. Like, I like to be challenged. I like to be challenged. I'm definitely after someone as a partner who can challenge me to make me a better human. I feel very, very content, very happy with myself, and I feel that you should only ever be in a relationship when you are happy with yourself, and you should be in a relationship for someone else to make you feel better.
Yeah.
To make you even better than where you are by yourself. So you should complement one another on good times and bad times, help one another up. It's like teamwork, yeah?
Yeah.
So I look for someone like that. I look for someone who's obviously very bright, extremely intelligent, and someone who's, very open to deep conversations. That's something that inspires me, because there's not a lot of people that these days, in this day and age, that can talk on a very deep emotional connection level, and that's something that I find extremely attractive as a trait to have, or a trait to find in someone else.
Well, good luck with this girl.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I guess the fans still have a bit of a chance.
Yeah.
Girls, just start messaging him.
Yeah.
We are getting to the end of the interview, unfortunately. But as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Okay. It's a good question. I mean, I live my life right now. As I said, my mantra is I'm a student of life, but everything that I do today and everything that I don't do today is always accompanied by me asking my 80-year-old self.
80?
Yes.
Wow.
What would I say to
interesting.
myself if I'm on a deathbed at 80, looking down at Sam Webb today as 30 years of age? What would I say to Sam today on a decision? Would I do it? Would I wouldn't do it? Would I regret it? Why would I regret it? What's holding me back? So I'm always constantly trying to be the old Sam looking down at the young Sam. It's sort of weird how it says, but I feel like I've learned a lot over the last 5 years. I've grown a lot as a person.
That's the best way to make your decisions.
Yeah,
too.
so I'm always referring to old Sam. What would old Sam want? What would old Sam want from right now? But I guess, what would I have told my 14-year-old self as of 30 today?
Yeah.
Great question. Own who you are, 100%. Don't worry about the little things in life, because the things in life, what are they going to think? Do I look good? Am I saying the right thing? Am I going to rock up? People either like you or they don't like you, and that's all it's going to be.
Yeah.
And not everyone's going to like you. You're always going to have people that aren't your cup of tea, and that's fine. But just own who you are, be fully happy and at peace with you as a person, and I guarantee everything else will fall into place. You'll be so much better as a human. You'll be able to be yourself around people. You'll be able to give your full self to other people, and none of that will start unless you're fully happy with yourself.
Well, because as you said before, it's like if you don't love yourself, who's going to? You know, no one's going to uplift uplift you either. So.
And they're all going to be very temporary uplifts as well. They're not going to be life changing. Yeah, exactly. It's like a band-aid. You've truly got to be at a place of peace within yourself. There's a lot of things I stressed about when I was growing up, and it was like little things, like pointless things. I know to me they were a big problem, but to someone else they were pointless. Things that you got to really be in tune with is yourself.
When you're around like that 13, 14, it's just so much caring of, should I go to school with this hairstyle? And, what am I going to say? Should I put my hand up in class?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do and be as true and authentic to yourself as you possibly can. Yeah. And that way you'll look back going, I'm so happy I was me.
Yeah.
You got nothing to hide.
Love it.
Yeah. That's probably the best advice I could give. Yeah, and that's something I wish I'd learned at 14, what I know now, because I would have been in a much better space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all right.
It's good advice for all the young listeners too.
So hopefully...
Just be yourself.
Be yourself. Start making changes wherever you can.
And start thinking of your 80-year-old self.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, Sam. I really appreciate your time. I know that you're really busy with acting and living, and it's truly inspiring. I'm very, very thankful for being on here. I appreciate you guys for taking the time out to get me on the show, and if I can ever help now or into the future, definitely don't hesitate to reach out and ask. I'm always willing to. Just consider it your second home. You're welcome on any time. So come on and just chat to us about anything. About life. Yeah, just about life. Student of life. It's like, I asked my 80-year-old self something the other day. Now that would be a really good segment, just saying. For everyone watching, make sure to go follow Sam on social media. As I said, keep up to date with what he's doing. Maybe go buy some merch from Livin. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!